Hey, this is Ralph, and in this video I want to go over tabs, including leader tabs. Okay, so tabs, for the most part, you might think, oh, what's the big deal? You type in some text, you press the tab key, and the cursor jumps to the half-inch mark, more text, and jumps to the next nearest half-inch mark. Those are default tabs in Word, and those are pretty easy to deal with, but let's go with some custom tabs. For custom tabs, you need to be familiar with this tab marker on the far left side. It's just over the far left of the ruler. And by default, it's at the left tab marker. Now when you put your pointer on the horizontal ruler, by the way, if you don't see the ruler, make sure your view ribbon, make sure ruler is checked. But if you click anywhere on the ruler, a tab will appear, a custom tab stop. And if you create a custom tab stop, you get rid of all the default tabs. So for instance, if I click right on the number 2, I've just inserted a left-aligned tab stop at the 2-inch mark. So on my document, when I press my tab key, it's not going to jump a half-inch, it's going to jump all the way to the 2-inch mark. And then if I click over here on the 5 in the ruler, I now have another tab at the 5. So I've got text at the 2, tab, text at the 5. And when I press enter, the next paragraph is going to still have those same tab positions. Tab stops are a paragraph formatting, and when you format one paragraph, subsequent paragraphs carry on that same formatting. So in this next paragraph, if I don't want those tab stops to be there, I can get rid of them. I can put my pointer right on that tab stop on the ruler, click and drag down, drag it off the ruler to get rid of those custom tab stops. And now I'm back to the default half-inch tabs. Okay, so let's try something else. Now I'm going to go to my tab marker over here on the far left side. I'm going to click it and it cycles through. There's a center tab. I'm going to put a center tab at the 2-inch mark. And I'm going to cycle through, and now I've got a right-align tab. And I want to put a right-align tab at the 6.5-inch mark, but Word won't let me click there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and put my right-align tab a little, obviously in a different location, but then as a second action, I'm going to click and drag it to that 6.5-inch mark. So although I can't click right on that 6.5 because the right indent is there, I can click and drag a right tab stop. So I have a center tab at the 2 and a right align tab at the 6.5. So if I press my tab key, I now have centered text. Press my tab key again, I have some right aligned text. And if I press enter, I have tab key, more centered text, and more right aligned text. So I can keep on with that formatting. So you can consider tabs to be used to line up columns of data, and that's really probably their best example. Line columns of data up so it's all nice and neat. Now let me show you some of the trickier ones, and that's the leader tabs. So leader tabs are when you have some text on one side. In fact, let me get rid of my center tab here. I still have my right align tab though. So with leader tabs, I might have some text on the left, and then I want to have a bunch of dots that lead me over all the way to the right side. But I don't want to press those periods over and over again. Instead, I want to customize my right align tab on the right side so that it has a leader style. Unfortunately, I can't do this from the ruler. I have to go to the tabs dialog box. So I'm active on the paragraph that I want to affect. I go to my paragraph formatting controls, go to the tabs dialog box, little tabs button, lower left corner, and then I see that this particular paragraph has one tab stop. It's at the 6.5-inch. I see that it's a right align tab. Leader style is none. I'm going to change it to leader style 2. Then I will click OK. Now, when I press my tab key, I get all these little dots, and then I can have my right align tab over here. This is kind of nice. Then I could have like a chapter title and then a page number. Another chapter, tab, and a big page number. So the right align tab is very useful for numbers like this. And a leader style tab is good when you want to lead the eye from the left to the right. Do not type little dots. Do not type hyphens over and over again. Instead, use leader tabs. So probably one of the trickiest ones to use, but really does come in handy. So I've got all these various tabs set. You can go back and modify tabs pretty easily. For instance, these two paragraphs have a center tab and a right align tab. I've selected these two paragraphs and I'm going to modify. Another way to get into the tabs dialog box, by the way, is to double click on an existing tab stop. If I double click an existing tab stop, opens the tabs dialog box. I see that I've got one at the 2 and I've got one at the 6.5. I'm going to click on the 2, and instead of a center tab, I'm going to make it a left tab, and then I will set, and then I'll go to the 6.5, and instead of making that a right, I'll make it a center. And then I can either hit set and OK or just OK. I'll click OK, and I've gone from center and right to a left and a center. When I click OK, now it's a left aligned. But I guess I kind of screwed up because my center tab is so far to the edge it couldn't go that far. So I'll have these two paragraphs selected, put my cursor on that center tab marker, and I'll just drag it a little over, and notice that I can move that text around, and I'll put it right there on the 5, let go. Excellent. So now I have my left and my center tabs. Don't forget those leader tabs too. So practice these a few times.